How you doing, basketball snappers? Oh yeah, we snap all over the globe. We snap because it is our time to shine. Oh yeah, you guys. Today we'll be talking about humanity. Being human. What is it, being human? How does being a human make you feel? Does it make you feel overwhelmed? Happy? Does it make you feel loved? Secluded? Warm? So many different emotions we have when it comes to being human. We are just human, but humans are so awesome. We are awesome creatures. We are like animals. We want to run free. We want to fly. We want to soar. We want to be happy. We want to love. What is being human, though? Is it being together? Is it surviving while being alone? Is it self-sufficiency? So many different ways to look at it. How does being a human make you feel? If you guys have time, or if you get inspired, if you feel creative enough, write a poem about being human and what it means to you. Love to hear it. Send it on over to us. We love you guys. We miss you. Keep writing. Keep being amazing humans.
We all have a story to tell, a song yet unsung. Beyond the masks and personas, the key to heal our sons and our daughters and bring back the things we left behind us in pursuit of a better life. A feeling of hope and love in a society riddled with songs of sobriety. Yes, a deeper understanding of what's inside of me and why we exist in the first place. Could it be in the pursuit to be happy we hid our pain and forgot that empathy tells us we are not alone in our struggles? That to some degree another has walked in my shoes and in their life felt the same wounds that kept them bound and hidden in some prison of self-defeat. A windowless room, a calloused heart, a bitter tune buried within a darkened womb. Don't be fooled in our pain as our love if we let it, but despair comes to those who suppress it and tickle the ears of the self-righteous that profess an impossible standard of perfection. I believe it's time to be honest and embrace how God designed us, that in our suffering it binds us and brings us closer to the truth. Yes, we are hardwired to connect, and in our stories can reflect the deeper parts of what it means to be human. Is it safe to be human today? Yes, indeed it is, if we slow down from all the busyness and realize greater value is placed in possessions, success, and achievements rather than the very things that weave us into an unbreakable strand, pulling against the darkness that deceived us into believing we are alone. We don't have to be alone. That hope isn't far to those who can embrace their imperfection, bringing to light all the fear and shame, pioneering a new direction, giving back to the people with a selfless motivation for the sake of a greater freedom. Dear God, we need you. Give us courage to see you and embrace your better way, that you suffered too, and in your death, a resurrection, a beautiful transformation that transcends dimensions, piercing through, relieving tensions within our weary souls. This story you gave and repeated through us, the redemptive songs that heal and soothe us, a life like yours full of bruises that lead us toward faith, hope, and love, a romance that woos us into the arms of a loving God and each other. Dear people, didn't you know your story matters to us all? In all its victories, weakness, fears, stumbles, and falls, there was a voice with a much greater call, riddled in strength and purpose. Can we give with nothing to gain but to simply see a life redeemed for the sake of this freedom? That in so many ways, we are all the colors and shades in a much bigger picture that leads to better days if we simply stop being afraid of being who we really are. Your story matters. Don't bury it, give it back. Set your heart to serve. Pour out grace and favor undeserved, and lend your ear to those whose words have remained unspoken. to the hurting, the lost, and the broken. That they too would have eyes to see and expose the lies that say they are the bottom of humanity, that they can never be free, and despair will always be their cold, dark reality. Dear God, free us from ourselves. Lift the blinding veil to embrace the truth. Every life has a song to sing and a story to tell. We all have a story to tell, a song yet unsung.
Humanity, with love and respect. It's time to give up. Not a single person feels that keeping our distance has brought us closer. Racism will always exist. You're wrong to assume that people have changed. Life lessons won't matter when we look back at missed opportunities. The disaster we were in made us forget about doing random acts of kindness because our individual desire takes priority over a greater good for all. 2020 made it clear. Things won't be better this coming year. You're mistaken if you believe faith is stronger than fear. Wearing a mask is pointless. And I'd be crazy if I said, I'm alive today because of you. Now let's read it in reverse and change our point of view. I'm alive today because of you. And I'd be crazy if I said wearing a mask is pointless. Faith is stronger than fear. You're mistaken if you believe things won't be better this coming year. 2020 made it clear. A greater good for all takes priority over our individual desire because doing random acts of kindness made us forget about the disaster we were in. Missed opportunities won't matter when we look back at life lessons. People have changed. You're wrong to assume that racism will always exist. Keeping our distance has brought us closer. Not a single person feels that it's time to give up. With love and respect, humanity.
We yearn for connection, yet isolate ourselves. We seek love, but fear loss. We dream for someday, instead of trying for today. We want change, but don't want to change. We overconsume, then wonder why there's no space to create. We love the ocean, yet buy plastic. We advocate for education, then bury our students in loans. We want health, but for a price. We believe in equality, but struggle to bridge the gap of inequality. We ask for better leaders, but don't think to lead. We wish for a better world, but not at the cost of comfort and convenience. We are walking contradictions. There's a disconnect here, and it's not any one person's fault. The world is made up of both beauty and brokenness. Most of the time, I believe we have our hearts in the right place. The problem is how overwhelming it all seems. But change is made up of small moments. Change happens when we have been hurt, but choose not to act from our hurt. Change happens when we see someone who seems upset and ask how we can support them. Change happens when we don't pretend to have all the answers, but are willing to ask the uncomfortable questions. The truth is, if we knew the whole story behind everyone's actions, we would see why they are the way they are. And it doesn't excuse it, but compassion is the birthplace of change.